JD here, and as you can see, we are back on iRacing once again, and it is great to be back on this game. As usual, please, any advice you have, any criticism, anything you'd like to see, anything at all to help improve this experience even more than it already has been for me, I'm just extremely grateful, and I just want to say thank you all so much. So we are back with driving the F1 22 car, so the W13, this time at Silverstone. And you may be wondering the title of this video, what it's about. A lot of drivers in the iRacing community who I've been speaking to have told me that week 13, so it's every 13 weeks they have a new season, if I'm not mistaken. In the week 13, where you get access to new content, such as this one here, as you can see, the input telemetry by Race Lab, so check that out down in the description. But in week 13, driving these cars here, which is brand new to the game, your iRating and safety rating doesn't get affected at all. So usually drivers are always trying to be quite clean, and you're about to see here, yeah, coming out of the pits, doesn't move out of the way, no respect at all. But you know, it's not really so much of a big deal, but a lot of drivers have told me that many drivers simply just don't care, and since the safety rating and iRating isn't affected, the racing is a little bit more on the dirty side, and the rules kind of go out the window a bit, and you will see a bit of that, which you already saw from that guy coming out of the pits there, which wasn't really too bad. You don't have to actually move out the way in iRacing, even if you're receiving a blue flag. You just have to ensure that you're not really getting in the way of the leaders and disrupting their races, because you can still be reported. Even when the safety rating isn't affected, you can still be reported and potentially banned if you are intentionally taking someone out, because they do take it quite seriously on this game. So right here you can see these are actually my first few laps ever with the W13 round Silverstone. I did the W12 in a video last year when that came out, but this is my first time with the W13 and didn't really get much chance to practice, so I just went straight into a lobby here, and you can see, get used to the track a bit, and I only really did 2 to 3 laps of practice before the qualifying itself started. And you can see the people around us are quite a bit more experienced. It's always good to look at someone's safety rating as well, which is the number within the coloured box or the rectangle you can see in the bottom right hand side of the screen. That's actually their safety rating. The one in the white box is their iRating, so basically their win to loss ratio and what the results are, really. So coming towards the end of this, qualifying is starting, so we're going to have to stop the car on track and get straight into this quality session. So I didn't really feel that prepared, because the races do run, I think, around about every hour in this week 13 for this car. So this is actually going to be my qualifying now. So if you elected to go for the softs, like you saw in the last video, whatever tyre you start in the qualifying, you have to do the 20-minute race on. And I have seen, and you will see a bit later, it's actually a little bit better, well, not a little bit, but quite a bit better to start on the mediums, because the softs do go off quite quickly and they really do drop off towards the end of the race. So going into this a little bit blind, just gotta do everything I can, and again, the field of view will be changing. That's something I do need to be adjusting over the Christmas period. Also with the frame rate drops, that's actually to do with the game itself. That's a bit of an issue around certain tracks and cars, which I believe iRacing are directly addressing very shortly. But see, the lap here so far isn't really too bad. At absolutely love driving through this section. The downforce, the faster you go in this car, the more downforce you get. The connectivity again is the thing I love about driving on this game. It is absolutely insane. And as always, if you are enjoying these videos, please make sure you like the video. Lets me know that you are. And yeah, just want to say again, thank you so much for all the help that you guys have been giving me, because it really has transformed my experience. But you can see coming across the line here now, it's going to be a 1:29.4, which was actually good enough for second fastest. So starting on this soft tyre here, waiting for the lights to go out, and let's see what we can do. So 4 lights here, and as they go out now, getting a pretty poor start. So a lot of people have recommended me to set up the clutch system, which I really do need to do, because I think that driver in second place definitely had that. So I got a pretty poor start, and coming through into here, just trying to avoid any damage or any carnage as much as possible, just trying to get through these first series of corners in the first sector. And now we've managed to slot ourselves back behind into P3. But right here I was feeling very rusty with the car, or not rusty, but just very inexperienced. I just haven't really pushed it to the limit, other than just that one qualifying lap, that one practice lap. Didn't get a chance to do any practice before this, because the race was actually, or the event itself that you had to register to, was just about to start, and I was pretty eager to get a race under my belt. So kind of went into this blind. But Silverstone is probably my best track on the Formula 1 game, so I do know the layout very well. But it's now just about adjusting that muscle memory and getting that feeling with the car itself. So you can see just going a little bit deep into here, which does compromise my exit. In each car, the draft distance, so the distance you are behind the car when you get the slipstream, is different. So I'm not quite sure what it is in this car. Isn't particularly strong. The DRS that you do receive is very strong in this car, so I'm just doing my best to stay with them as much as I can. And when you're in a race here, you can't adjust the ERS mode. It's with fixed setups this week, so no one has a custom setup. The only thing you can change is the brake bias. You can't change the deployment mode, so everyone is in the same one. So I can't use the overtake button, I can't use anything more than this. I'm just doing my absolute best and just being quite cautious on that power, as you can see by my telemetry. Been really watching a lot of other channels recently who do iRacing, just to see how much I can learn and just gain some knowledge from them. You can see we're getting the off tracks here, which if this was in a ranked race, that's something you would want to be avoiding, which is why a lot of drivers do kind of explore the track limits a lot more in week 13, because it doesn't affect their rating at all. But for me, I want to try and drive the same as if this was a ranked race, where it does affect my rating. So I'm just trying to practice that as much as I can, rather than just drive as if there is no rules or anything at all. So this guy's got out ahead of me, this Ben Dutton, if I said that correctly. And you can see we're sticking with him. The leaders have actually got away a little bit here. And you can see the guys up ahead of me, they all have an A-class license, so they are quite a bit more experienced. And you're about to see the power of the DRS here. So a couple of cars have gone off. You can see how quickly we're closing in. It's absolutely insane, this DRS coming from here. But we're just going to try and stick with him and see if we can close up on the leaders. But so far, this race has been very clean, apart from when this guy has gone off and we've managed to get 2 cars in one up into P2, and the leader is quite a way up the roads. But we're losing a little bit of time to him, so we're just trying to get in a bit more of a rhythm of this race, exploring those track limits again, which would really be impacting the safety rating. But you can see here now we've got actually a slowdown, which is a little bit harsh for the amount we went off track, so we had to slow down 1 second there. Certainly don't think we gained a second, but we had to abide by the rules. And now we have Ben up behind us again, and yeah, we're just going to try and hang on to second place. You can see the guy in the lead is quite a way ahead of us here. You can see he's going to get a really good run coming off this corner. We actually ran a little bit wide, and with the DRS, there isn't really going to be any option to keep him behind. So we're just going to try and slot him behind. You can see the power of that DRS, a very easy overtake, but we're going to try and stick with him as best as we possibly can. But as we skip on ahead here, as he runs out a little bit wide, coming towards the end of the lap, we managed to stick with him quite nicely, getting right underneath his gearbox into the slipstream. And for me, this is what you should do if you do make a mistake and hit someone, because as we come into here, we break my normal point, but then we accidentally run into the back of him. So that was my normal braking point, but he broke a bit earlier than what I was doing. But no, let him back pass. That was completely my fault, and I think that's what you should be doing as well. If you unintentionally take someone out, it's just out of respect. And that's a little bit of weave to say, yep, sorry about that. But going through this race, not really much happened from there. So we decided to go into another one. You can see this time we're on the medium, so I didn't even actually qualify. I just started 6th because everyone else kind of invalidated that time. We actually get a really, really good start this time on the mediums. And I can tell you now, this is the tyre that you want to be on when you're racing in this car online, because you know, a 20-minute race is quite a big race, as this guy is poking his nose down the inside, now coming into the top 4, then we get hit from behind, and yeah. And is it over yet? Nope, it's not over yet. And I don't know if we received any damage there. I don't know if it tells you you've got damage. Maybe someone can tell me if you know for certain. Maybe I might need to assign a button to ask my engineer if I do have damage or not. But we continued on, and I guess we didn't really receive any damage, quite miraculously. So we definitely had Lewis Hamilton's car, who seems to be bulletproof when he does get involved in incidents. But now we're quite determined to see what we can do in terms of the comeback. So going through into turn 1, coming into here, almost alongside, so you can see my wheel is almost alongside, and going to here, yeah, making contact. Please let me know if you think that was my fault. From my perspective, obviously I'm probably going to be a bit biased, but I felt like I deserved maybe a little bit more room since I was going, well, I was quite far alongside going into there. I know it's not a corner you should normally overtake on, and maybe I should have waited for the DRS zone. I don't know. I felt like maybe I could have received a little bit more room, so very sorry to that guy. I didn't mean to do that, but no, I didn't really have anywhere else to go, and I think he could see me coming as well. But again, just let me know what you think about that. As we're coming up to these two guys up ahead, this Patrick, can't pronounce his last name because I can't quite see it on my screen, but this Patrick here seems to be pretty up for a fight against every driver, so fairly aggressive, gets the move done. We're going to get the DRS of this guy, almost running into the back of him in the process, and now we get the move done up into, I believe it's a P4 in this race. So we're going to try and fight for a podium position. You can see the leaders are quite a way up the road, so they're over 10 seconds ahead, and you can see that by the mini-map as well on the top right hand side. And you will see the power of these medium tyres. So coming through here, we get a pretty good launch coming off here with the DRS, and you see how powerful this DRS is. So are we going to go for a move into here? Are we going to carry that momentum? So we're going to go around the outside of, I believe, Stowe it's called, if I could get the call name right, and we get the move done going into the final chicane. But then coming into here, he sticks his nose down the inside, and there's the more contact again. And brownie points for anyone who guesses what I'm saying in the webcam. Because, yeah, really wasn't too happy about that at all. And, yeah, guess what I just said there. Put it down in the comments. But I don't know if we'll have a look at the replay. I don't know if we are going to be doing that. I guess not. But please let me know again if you think that was my fault. I felt like I left just enough room on that inside. Maybe I could have left more room. But even if he got that move done down the inside, I don't know what the benefit would be, because then I would probably have the inside for the next corner, and then even if he got past, I'd just slipstreaming back on the DRS straight. So, yeah, I don't know. A lot of people have warned me in this week 13 that a lot of drivers will just race no matter what, and that's something you kind of have to expect. So right now I am very determined to try and catch up to Patrick, the guy in P3, because I was really desperate to get the podium. So about 17 seconds behind the leader. You can see here, I have a little bit of a zoom in, so about 4.6, 4.7 behind him, and you will see we are starting to catch these guys up ahead pretty quickly. So we started to get more and more used to this car, and once we had the clear air underneath our belt, we were actually started to drive really well, really driving to within the limits. So you can see that gap visually is coming down. Also to the leaders as well, the gap is coming down pretty quickly to the leaders, because they are, I believe, all on softs up ahead of me. So the tyre wear and the tyre compound really is swinging into my favour. So you can see we're really starting to close in now, and I think next lap is the final lap of the race. As you can see on top left hand side, it's almost at that 20-minute mark. So you can see, yes, it's the white flag coming out. So now we have one more lap to try and get payback on this Patrick up ahead in obviously as clean way as possible, but I was very determined to get back past him here. So I don't know if we're going to be close enough to the DRS zone here, because I was within a second, but it didn't give me the DRS. So I don't know if it is actually shortened that on this game, or I'm not quite sure how it works. Again, maybe someone could comment down below and tell me what it is. You get a flag coming out here, and that has caused him to have a really poor run coming down this first straight. So we don't have the DRS, but with the slipstream and the momentum, I'm going to go around the outside of him. Yes, we do go around the outside, getting the move done early. I thought I would have to do it going down the hangar straight, but we get that move done, and that felt very, very satisfying. You can see the gap to the leaders is only 4 seconds as well. So the pace we had on these tyres at the end of the race was very, very strong. So actually a really good comeback. I'm guessing I didn't have damage because the pace actually felt really good on these tyres. So coming through into here now, I felt like that was race over. I'm looking at the gap behind me, and he's not really that close at all. I know the DRS is powerful, but I thought to myself, okay, this is job done. We're actually going to get a podium. And you can see a little smile on the bottom left-hand side. So really feeling quite good right now, and sticking within the track limits and coming through this final chicane. Felt like we were taking it a bit easy coming through here, so not going completely fat out, running a little bit wide here. But if you look at the wind through mirror, I didn't even notice it. Turned into the last corner. What's going to happen? There's contact again, and this time going across line, and I've lost my podium position. Have another guess of what I'm saying here, and I think we will be watching a replay of this, and I had no idea that was happening. I didn't even see that in the rear view mirror, and you can see we're annoyed, but we're kind of smiling as well, because I'm just having such a good time playing this game. So we're watching on board here, and he really overspeeds into here, and then coming through into this, the door is open, but let me know what you think of that. For me, I don't know if that was deliberate, or because he didn't really make that much of an attempt to turn right. And yes, the door was open, but was he really going to get that move done? I don't know. You can decide. Please let me know what you think about that. But I know for a fact that that would be happening in a normal week in terms of racing, because his safety rating would be going down the drain if he was doing that. So we had a laugh about it afterwards. I'm having a laugh about it now watching it, but at the time I was fairly annoyed at the time. But just how the game feels just kind of makes up for that. And again, I'm just absolutely love driving this game. I'm actually enjoying this game more than anything else right now, and I think it can tell the way I'm driving and what you see in the video, and probably the way I'm commentating here. Just yeah, I absolutely love it. So again, please like the video if you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. www.coachlimitless.com. I have opened up my coaching slots for the official F1 games for January, so there's many more slots there if anyone wants to have a one-to-one session with me, because I will still be playing F1. I still do enjoy it, but yeah, just enjoy myself on other games as well. So thank you so much for the support, and I'll be catching you very, very soon. Peace.